Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss one of the new feature of C# 8.0, that is using declaration. Before come to the using declaration, first we need to understand using statement and how it works for better understanding of using declaration. Using statement is used to work with an object in C# that implement the iDisposable interface. iDisposable interface has one public method called dispose that is used to dispose of an object. When we use using statement, we don't need explicitly dispose of an object in code. The using statement take care of it. Let's understand by writing code. I am creating a .NET Core console project. Let's name it using declaration demo. Now I am creating a list of objects, and in main method I am adding some string into this list by using add extension method. I have added 4 strings into this list, that is first line, second line, third line and fourth line. Let's create another method. This writeFile method have one parameter of list of string type. Now I am writing using statement, and inside this I am creating an object of stream writer with file path and assign this object into the file variable. Now I will loop through the line and will write each line in this file. So what we have done, first we have created a list of string object, and then we have added 4 string into this list and then passed this list into the writeFile method. Inside writeFile method we have wrote using statement, then we have created the stream writer object with file path and assign into the file variable, and then we loop through the line and then we writing the line into the text file. Let me put a breakpoint at the end of using block and run our application. So here file variable will not dispose until compiler is inside the using block. We can access this file variable. Let's see. As I mouse over on the file variable, it's showing that it contains stream writer object. Let's check once in immediate window. So it clearly shows that file variable is not disposed. But as I step over, file variable is disposed. Now as I mouse over on the file variable, it's showing nothing. Let's try in immediate window also. In immediate window we have an error. File does not exist in current context. Because as our compiler reach at the end of using block dispose the file variable. Let's check our text file also. Is it contains some text or not? It has some text, so our code is working fine. Now let's understand the using declaration. This feature allows us to declare a disposable object with the keyword using. So the object will dispose of when it goes out of scope. We don't need to change much line of code, we just need to remove these parentheses and curly braces. We are done. This is the example of using declaration. Let's put a breakpoint here and run our application. As I mouse over on the file variable, it's showing the object of stream writer. It means file variable has scoped at the end of method. While in the first example of using statement, it has scoped at the end of using block only. Let's discuss the difference between using declaration and using statement. Using declaration does not need us to define the scope of object. Instead, it is handled by the compiler itself. While in using statement, we have to define the scope of object. In case of using statement, we have to control over the defining the scope of object. In the case of using declaration, its scope is automatically defined from the object declaration statement to the end of current code block. If method is going to small, then we should use using declaration. Otherwise we should use using statement.